Hello and welcome. I'm Matthew Widget with Go Narrative. Today we'll be talking about how to unlock business outcomes with the magic of metaphor. It should come as no surprise that I find this topic incredibly exciting. It is, at its heart, the very core of using storytelling and narrative in business. Metaphors help us communicate important concepts in accessible ways. They're particularly powerful and effective when applied to business storytelling. Stop me if you've heard this one before. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women are merely players. Anyone who's even remotely familiar with English literature, granted that's not everybody, knows this famous line. It's from William Shakespeare's As You Like It. It's one of the most cited examples of metaphors in the English language. The dictionary definition of metaphor describes it as a figure of speech to which a word or phrase that denotes one thing is used in place of another to suggest a likeness. In business, metaphor is a powerful and effective brain hack. It sparks an immediate connection between something in your audience's mind and the concept that you're trying to communicate. Why do metaphors work so well? Well, the metaphor and its cousins, analogies and similes, work because they're storytelling shorthand. It turns out that you can actually convey a lot of big ideas and information in a mere sentence or two, by doing that likening of one thing to another. You can imagine how these condensed forms of storytelling are particularly useful in today's social media-driven marketing landscape, which, of course, values brevity and quick consumption over many other things. An example of a powerful narrative metaphor that I'll often cite is the Tea Party movement. The Tea Party movement chose this moniker because they knew it would press the right buttons in its supporters' brains. They would even dress up in Revolutionary era costumes at their events to drive home the connection. Again, a brain hack to quickly convey their political views and beliefs to other people. You probably use metaphors every day when trying to describe something complex to a novice. If you do that, why not use it in business? Metaphors work extraordinarily well at making concepts sticky and memorable. They're a kind of gateway drug to introducing your audience to more complex, detailed information. In other words, introducing to your products and services. Metaphors lead a horse to water, and they're hidden everywhere in plain sight. What about narrative? How does that relate to metaphor? Well, narrative and metaphors are a match made in heaven. Once you've done the legwork to define your narrative framework, you can then go out there and find a metaphor that represents it. Soaring like an eagle. Quality control, diversity. These are all examples of narrative metaphor that we have developed for clients. They're all relevant to that specific product or service in question. All help provide clarity as to the meaning of what is being offered. All have stories that help bring them to life, and can also inspire story making to create, find, and share stories that accrue to the narrative. In our article on this topic, we take a deep dive into some familiar political narratives, and in doing so, we show the power of a metaphor at communicating any given narrative. Narratives represent a way of being, the essence of something, its true heart and meaning. When we use a figure of speech to convey that broader meaning, that's when it becomes a metaphor. It's really the mashup of the power of these tools where the magic happens. In our article, we'll also talk about how you can hook your audience with the right metaphor. And, of course, we provide a process for you to do so. Studies have shown that interest plays a crucial role in learning. The more interested we are in something, the more likely we are to grasp it, to devour it, to retain it, to believe in it, to make it a part of our story. And of course, even share it with others to share our interest and our excitement. This is the true power of metaphors in business. A metaphor makes an unknown thing both accessible and interesting. When people feel deeply and understand something truly, when they get it enough to be interested, that's when you win. That's when you hook them. So, right about now, it's time for you to go and have a try at this yourself, to develop some metaphors for your narrative and start reeling in your audience like the fish on the end of a line. Thanks for stopping by.